the train. Surprising with this channel, isn't it? Not really. Hi there, Martin Royce here from Royce on the Rails, and we're at Dedham Corporate Centre on the inbound platform towards Boston, and that train you just saw was heading in exactly that direction. Now, the previous video in my cut. Okay, there we are, welcome back. Dedham Corporate Centre, Royce here. Hello, where were we? You will have seen at the start of my previous video in the Gone But Not Forgotten series that I gave a little shout out to Fuzzy's Cafe in Fitchburg. But this time round, I'm actually asking a small favour from you. Not in a sponsorship way, not in a financial way, but I am starting to really enjoy myself with this channel. I know it's been a bit of a slow slog the last 12 or so months, but I really would love your support with this channel where I can. So, not that it costs you anything, just a little clicky of the finger. If you can hit that subscribe button, or like this video, or both, or comment, or just tell me what you like about these videos, what you don't like, that would be magnificent. Now, there's going to be a couple of buttons that pop up either side of me right now. If they obscure my face, I'm sorry. I don't know how to like pan out, like we go that far out, this far in, you know. But all the same, your support, those of you who support me already and subscribe, fantastic, thank you. If you've yet to and you'd like to, that would be magnificent. Thank you in advance. And now I'm going to wind the clock back a couple of hours and see you on the other side of the platform for the start, the official start of today's video. So we're going to go from the Boston bound platform to the outbound platform, and I will see you there now. Dedham Corporate Centre. And this train heading in towards Boston, but I'm not. Look, outbound. Because you know me by now, I don't do things the way that most people do. So whereas everyone else is heading off into the big smoke, I'm heading off somewhere totally different. And that somewhere is a small little station from, I can now say yesteryear, called Plimptonville. And in order to get there, I have to do a very unusual thing at any time of day, let alone this early in the morning. And that is get off at another very unique station called Windsor Gardens. And for those of you who are not aware of the station and the premise of it, what it's there for, I'll explain when I get there. Okay, just quickly as well, I'm going to just point out on the map here where exactly we're going, where I am. Dedham Corporate Centre, right there. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4 stops along the line to get to Windsor Gardens, and then Plimptonville is a short walk from there. Indeed, between Windsor Gardens and Walpole, Plimptonville is pretty much equidistant. According to Google Maps, that is about 1.7 miles from both, so at my kind of pace, you're talking probably half an hour walk, or maybe just a shade under that. But all the same, train should be in any moment, so I will film that coming in for your viewing pleasure and get on board. And indeed, here we are, Windsor Gardens. See this one heading out. And again, this is not the reason I'm here today. This is not Plimptonville, but this is a very, very unique station indeed, because this is just an apartment complex and a halt station, nothing else. Kind of feel like I shouldn't be here, but you can. The only stipulation of this place is that whilst there in the background you can see cars parked, there is no public parking here, except of course for residents of the complex. So this place was opened in 1962. This apartment complex was opened in 1962, and 9 years later this station was born for the sole and dedicated purpose of the residents of this complex. But like I said before, it's about a 30-minute walk or so to Plimptonville station, so I'm going to make my way there now. Thank you for your time, Windsor Gardens. Let's go for a walk. So this is Plimpton Street, and down there ultimately is where I need to go. Plimptonville station is just a couple of hundred yards down there, but as part of my usual requirements in the day job, I need to go and do a little bit of work first. So give me a few more minutes. I'm gonna check in with a very famous name, and I'll let you know a little more when I get there. Also, an awful lot of things about this walk have reminded me of back home, not least that the entire walk between Windsor Gardens and Plimptonville is sidewalked. But on top of that, don't know if Brits knew about this, but BP, very much a thing here. So if I didn't feel at home already, no, I definitely do. I definitely do. Anyway, work. I need to go get parked up somewhere for a few. So now I'm all settled in here. The reason I've just checked into, I'm going to say it with the theme tune, etc. McDonald's, if you didn't know, is that every morning for my day job I have to send a company-wide report at 7 in the morning. It is currently 6:44, and I need to make sure that I'm somewhere with a table basically and connectivity with my hotspot to get this report sent. So if you'll pardon me, I'm going to have a nice sip of coffee and get on with this. See you in a bit. Well, in a pinch, that was absolutely perfect. Many thanks to the Golden Arches of the McDonald's here in Walpole. Sure, it's not the only one. Anyway, heading back now towards that street I showed you a couple of minutes ago, and we are going to get down to Plimptonville station. Don't expect much. It's just as quiet as Hastings was. Not quite as bad, but you'll see. You'll see. And here we are, Plimpton Street once again. And much like Hastings, it's about 150 or so yard walk down here. Difference being, when you get to the end this time, there's no grade crossing, nothing to otherwise confuse you. And whilst it is kind of discreet, the station is the one and only thing there. So I'm going to carry on down here, carry on enjoying my coffee, and I'll see you there in a minute. Sorry, that went a bit off angle then, didn't it? Off to the sky. Woo! It's quirky how just this very last 100 yards or so is the only time so far today that I have had to walk along the side of the road without any kind of sidewalk present. And it's right when I get here to Plimptonville station. Oh, it really isn't much, is it? No parking, tow zone. To be fair, didn't really need to mention the tow zone bit. This is just no parking. This is kind of like Hastings all over again, except, like I said, there's no grade crossing here. It is just that, can I call it a tuft? A little tuft of paving. What constitutes a platform that cannot be more than, what, 11 feet wide. This place is outstanding. Okay, well here's to a few features of this place then. It's going to be relatively brief, but I'll tell you what I can. Well, that was an unexpected treat. Cool. So then, Plimptonville station, here in the town of Walpole, Massachusetts. And it's a station that has, much like Hastings in the previous video, and to a certain extent Silver Hill as well, you can tell already from just the single track nature of this station that it was always the little cousin, or little sister if you like, to the main Walpole station about 1.5 miles south of here. The station initially opened in the late 1840s and was previously called Tipton, or also called Tiptons. Was also called Plimpton and then Plimptons, and finally settled on the name Plimptonville, as is the area around this station known. Now, when the MBTA took over the operation on this, which then was to become the Franklin line, Plimptonville didn't really get much benefit from it. It was always just a small halt station. As we would say in the United Kingdom, a halt station is just like this, somewhere where a train stops, rather than just a fully fledged station with all the trimmings, platforms for a start. Just the general makeup of a station is not what this ever was. And there is, I'm going to show you now actually, the last timetable to operate here. Again, note this is November 2020, so the COVID-19 pandemic was still rolling on quite nicely at this point. But this train right here, the 6:49 from Plimptonville, was the only service the entire day going into Boston. So it was very much a commuter station and nothing more than that for a very, very select number of people. That number actually is just 12. Other than Silver Hill, it was the least used station on the entire network on the 2018 passenger counts that I was referencing in the previous video. So said commuters who want this 6:49 service would get in at 7:36, and they would then have option 1 of 1, the 5:20 service, getting you back in here, Plimptonville, at 6:03. That's it. Like it or lump it. That was all the passengers had for their service options. And in fact, I can't even really use the word options. No plural, it's just one train. Much like Kendall Green in the town of Weston, Walpole station, obviously serving Walpole, is the station of choice locally. And whether or not this station sees service again is anyone's guess. I would put it in the same kind of likelihood as Hastings and Silver Hill. I can't imagine that passenger numbers would warrant a return of service here, not least for as low as they were. But all the same, it is a hark to times gone. And the fact that you, I mean, I'm going to pan back to it again now, the fact that you still have this here, which is something that was lacking even at Hastings. And for what it's worth, I didn't see it at Silver Hill either, but that said, it may have been inside that hut that I couldn't get down to because the stairs were blocked off. So this is, I mean this in a good way, this station is now a relic and a, could I say heritage spot? Is it a bit soon to say that? I don't know. But it's these stations that give me a sense of appreciation as to the evolution of this line prior to me moving here, prior to me fully understanding what this is, what it was, what it means to the locals here, what it means to commuters. And so I think I've had my fill here at Plimptonville train station. You see, not even a, can I call it, proper purple sign. Let's head back. That'll do nicely. And here as well, on the way out from the station, just spotted Tilton Court. So, as I explained previously, Tilton being a previous name of Plimptonville station. Tilton Court being a little housing and apartment complex over there. But it's a private way, so of course I'm not going down it. Once again, if I may, a shout out to the towns of Norwood and Walpole. You can see the entering Norwood sign in the distance there. Entering Norwood, incorporated 1872. But all of this sidewalk, pavement, as we Brits would say, is very, very welcome indeed. And this is me passing the town line from Norwood into Walpole. Sorry, other way around. From Walpole into Norwood, because now I'm in Walpole. No, I'm in a town. That's what I mean. I'm in a town, and now I'm heading past the Windsor Garden Station. Never mind. Look, that's another thing that Brits don't really understand, is that a town or a city immediately stops and ends in the same place. It's not like there's defined boundaries of a single town and then a land of nothingness or farms, as we're very used to in Britain. No, here, where one town ends, another begins immediately. Took me a long time to get used to that, but that's a great example back there of exactly how you go about going from one town to another. And you know what, as it happens, I was a lot closer back to Windsor Gardens than I thought, so as before, I'm not going to film going through here. Doesn't feel like the right thing to do. So, I will stop it off there. And then here. And I said I wasn't going to film inside the complex itself, but this is the one relevant bit that I think I am in fair position enough to give you a shot of. And what I find curious here is the effort to replicate the T symbol. I mean, the shape is right, you've got the letter right. It is the commuter rail station this way, I'm going to head there now, but the red and blue colour scheme of it is quite curious. Oh well, train time. And in the distance, you'll just start seeing the lights coming on and the bells of my train back towards Dedham Corporate Centre. So that is this episode of Royce on the Rails in the Gone But Not Forgotten series, all wrapped up. Join me for the next part soon. I'll see you there. Take care for now.